Hello there, everybody. My name is Ross Maynard, and welcome to this short presentation on the first steps with Lean. So my aim is to show a simple way, really, how you can make a start with Lean improvement in your organization without getting bogged down in all the sort of theory and Japanese words which you see in a lot of books. So I really want to make starting off with Lean improvement very simple and straightforward. And the reason for this is that Lean is a great philosophy, a great method of making improvement in your business. And it's sad that people get sort of put off or confused by all sorts of different, perhaps complicated concepts that are put out alongside with Lean. So here we go with first steps in Lean. As I say, my name is Ross Maynard, and my business is ideas2action.co.uk. Thank you for joining, and I hope you enjoy. So as I said, there are many books, many resources available on Lean, and many of them are excellent. The Toyota Way workbook, for example, is a standard text, which I would highly recommend, and there are many, many others. So there are many books worth reading, but they don't always make it easy to see where to start. There are many tools put forward, many sort of concepts, 14 points in the Toyota Way, for example. It's not easy how to make a start. So my aim here is to try and make that a bit simpler, a bit clearer for you. So let's start with a definition of Lean. And for this, we come to Taiichi Ohno, who wrote the book, The Toyota Production System, and also was a key architect of the Toyota production system in the Toyota vehicle company. And he said that all we're doing is looking at the timeline from the moment the customer gives us an order to the moment when we collect the cash, and we're reducing the timeline by reducing the non-value added wastes. So this makes it clear that Lean is about the flow through a business process and about removing impediments to that flow. So we measure the time that a process takes, and we look at where all the delays, where all the constraints to that timeline lie, and we remove those which do not add value for the customer, which are called waste in the Lean terminology, to streamline the process and therefore create the space, create the capacity to be able to do more work. So Lean is essentially about the timeline of a business process and reducing the timeline by taking out the stuff that we don't need. So Lean then, therefore, is all about flow through the process and speeding up the rate of flow by removing, as I said, the constraints, the barriers, the delays. And also in a Lean environment, cost is related to the rate of flow through the process, through the value stream, as it's called in Lean terminology. If we measure and manage the flow, i.e. stabilize the process, we manage the cost, we stabilize the cost of the process. By improving the flow, we reduce the cost, and we also create capacity because we create time to do more profitable work. So by increasing the capacity of the value stream, we increase its profitability by freeing up resources, freeing up time to do more profitable work in the total time that's available. And this leads us on to the 5 principles of Lean, which were first defined in the book, The Machine That Changed the World, by Womack Jones and Daniel Roos. Of course, have been repeated in many other books and resources since. So the first principle is that we define value in the eyes of the customer. What does a customer actually want from this process? What do they actually need? And also, what do they not need, of course? We then identify the value stream that delivers that outcome for the customer, and we start to map and understand the value stream so that we can eliminate waste, which is all of those things which are not benefiting the customer. We then should make value flow to the pull of the customer. So we respond to the demand of the customer rather than working on a sort of just in case principle or just building stock and inventory. The fourth principle is that we involve and empower employees. The people in the process are best placed to improve the process. It's them that should do the improvement work, not external teams of consultants with magically colored belts. And finally, we continuously improve with the help of the team. So lean is a continuous journey. We don't just do lean and that's us done it. It's a philosophy of continuous improvement. So what are we trying to achieve through lean? Well, we're trying to focus very strongly on the customer requirements, what the customer actually wants and needs, and we optimize the process to deliver what the customer wants and try to eliminate as much as possible of all the other things that the process may currently do, which are not actually of value to the customer. That means an organization which is structured by value stream, by process, rather than by functional departments. And this is quite a big change for many organizations, but we need to focus on the customer, and that means focusing the whole process from end to end. And organizing by value stream, having a value stream manager, for example, who is responsible for the whole process. We need senior managers who visibly support improvement and lead by example. And this means that the role of the manager changes from some sort of director, if you like, to being a coach, a trainer, a facilitator. Vigorous training programs are put in place to enable the people in the processes to develop the skills, the improvement skills that they need to work on improvement. So employees become trained in problem-solving tools and empowered to improve their processes. This means that responsibility for improvement becomes that of the employees rather than being controlled and driven by management. Employees improve their own process, clearly facilitated by management with appropriate checks in place for financial control and other appropriate controls, but it is the employees that drive improvement. Managers are frequently in the workplace, they work with the team, they support the team, they provide the resources that the team need, and also the sort of air cover that's needed to improve processes. In a lean organization, we recognize that performance problems are caused by the process, not by the people in the process. So this means a no blame culture. We're not trying to catch people for making mistakes. We're asking, what is it about the process that allows these mistakes to happen? And people are rewarded for raising and resolving problems. So we're keen to identify problems so that we can remove them rather than hide problems. All of this means that lean is a people process. You may have heard a lot about the lean tools, the 5 Whys, the Ishikawa diagrams, Hoshin Kanri, and all those things, which are very interesting, very useful. But essentially, the people in the process are best placed to understand its problems and constraints, and they are best placed to remove those problems and constraints. So processes are improved by people working together, using the problem-solving tools that I mentioned, but essentially it's about teamwork. We are creating a culture of improvement, which is people free to raise issues and concerns and work together to resolve them. Improvement becomes the responsibility of the team. Managers facilitate the team, providing support, expertise, and training as necessary, but it's essential about the people in the process driving improvement. All of this, of course, requires trust. Management to trust that employees will do the right thing and work for the good of the organization, and employees to trust that their managers will support them and not try and blame them or somehow punish them for identifying mistakes. Where should we start then with lean? Well, there's many books, as I said, many kind of methods and steps, etc. My first step, my advice would be get the process team together and start to talk about the process. What's right about it? What's wrong about it? Let's have an informal discussion about the dysfunctionality of our process. So work as a team with the process team. Who are the customers of the process and what do they actually need from the process? How effectively does the process currently work? Where are the delays, the risk points? Where do errors arise? And how can we improve the process as a team? How can we reduce risk, reduce errors, reduce delays, and therefore make a more streamlined process? Streamlining the process, of course, will free up time to do more profitable work. So making a start with Lean then, in summary, choose a process to start work on, identify the purpose of the process for the customers, study and map the process in detail so that you understand the barriers that are there to achieving its purpose. Work with the process team to remove those barriers and fix the problems, and managers facilitating and supporting improvement throughout to engender that change. John Shook, who's currently head of the Lean Enterprise Institute, said the famous tools of the Toyota production system are all designed around making it easy to see problems, easy to solve problems, and easy to learn from mistakes. Making it easy to learn from mistakes means changing our attitude towards them. So we welcome problems in the process. We give feedback, positive feedback. We reward the identification of problems, provided that we immediately work together to resolve and remove those problems. The aim of Lean tools is to surface problems, and the Lean philosophy then has us work together as a team to resolve those problems. So in summary, Lean is about engagement with your team. Listen to your people. Understand the barriers that they face in their processes. Provide the skills and support that they need and the time to improve things. Thank you. I hope that's given you a useful overview of how you might make a start with Lean, essentially about engaging with your team and starting to discuss the process in a no blame environment so that we can work together towards improvement. Thank you very much for your time. I hope that was useful to you. Goodbye.